Alright guys, welcome to episode of Proximity Motorsports Mackay. Yes, I know I'm in the exact same spot as the end of the last episode and the start of the other episodes, but once again, I think we have a few more cars left. I don't know what's in this episode, so it's all a big surprise. You don't know, I don't know. I know the cars, but I don't know what's in this episode. So thanks again for tuning in for this week. Thanks again guys. Let's see what we got. Alright Rhys man, this 180 wide body low kit thing, I'm loving it man. This thing is probably one of the wildest cars I've had on this series so far. Thanks for coming on man.
Thank you. So yeah, this is my 1993 Nissan 180SX with a RocketBunny kit, custom front end, a 383 Cali stroker, direct put nitrous injection, full carbon interior. Everything underneath is race set up, so and it's on Aircups as well as the MCA Red Series coilovers, big brake kit, custom drop tank, works. Everything's sort of been ready to race, so drag, drift, time attack, anything you want to do, this is what it's for. And street, of course.
And street, of course. Alright man, well I'm keen to get a closer look at this thing, get a bit more in-depth build breakdown, and honestly just go for a drive because it looks friggin' sick.
Sounds good man, thank you.
Man, this thing is wicked. I don't think this is probably one of the most in-depth builds we've had on Passion Project so far, and I'm in love. Everyone knows that I love a car that's been touched. Everyone loves a good car that's been touched, and this thing has been touched everywhere, inside, outside. You've touched it. I'm not sure if you should be in prison or you should be congratulated, but what have we got standing in front of us today, man?
Okay, so we started with a $300 shell. It was just a bare shell when I bought it. No suspension, no front end, no interior, nothing. It was just a sunroof model 180, and I'm like, I want to build a Tirana because I grew up with them. And I had this vision of, you know, like an SLR 5000 wide body muscle car style. So we went straight for an LS swap originally. And then I fell in love with individual throttle bodies watching, you know, V8 race cars and stuff like that. So we went with the ITB setup. TVD6 transmission to a S1 sequential shifter, so you get that you know, race car feel. We went full-blown wide body, double wide body on the rear, as you can see. Big wheels, full GTR rear cradle. We've got SSR 18 by 13 fucking wheels. Exhaust system, full twin stainless 3-inch exhaust system with Reaper Engineering mufflers. We've got full carbon interior. We have, where to start, massive brake kit on this thing, 5-stud conversion obviously. We've got an S14 upgraded steering rack. I don't know where to start and where to stop.
Oh man, well you've pretty much given me a full rundown. I now don't know where to start and where to finish either, but let's start from the outside and we'll the inside, and we'll work outside. That interior is full turbine carburetor. Where did you get all that carbon fibre?
It was actually quite tricky to trace down because obviously not a lot of places deal with carbon anymore. So over in Japan they had a very limited run of a full genuine carbon fibre interior dash system with door cards, center console, the works. So ordered that, waited about 18 months for it to arrive, and it arrived, thank God. And then we sort of just got the rest sorted to flow. As you know, like you can't get certain parts in carbon fibre, they just don't make them. So we sent a lot of the rear plastics and stuff like that away to get carbon dipped as well, just to match the rest of it. And then I elected for a 90 steering wheel just because I like the feel of the black suede. It doesn't get so hot on your hand. So then I got matching, obviously, Bride Japan seats, and then just black suede on the rear as well. And we're still in the process of finishing this car. It's been a 9-year project, so roof lining and carpets to come next. But for the most part, you know, she's on the road now. It's just a lot of fun to drive, and yeah.
No, I love it, man. I love it. I have moved this car 2 meters before, and it is sitting in it. You honestly feel like you're in a little race car, and it is awesome. Granted, I don't fit that well, but I still love it. Alright, so man, that's your interior done. Your interior is full on, and I'm all for it. Now I'm gonna say and tell everyone that this thing has Lambo doors, which I absolutely froth. Which also the McLaren we had here today also has McLaren doors, but you know, they're Lamborghini doors, we all know that. And the Corvette also had Lambo doors. So if anything, all the other cars come second. Lambo doors win every single time. But so your interior, I've stolen the limelight away from your doors because I just wanted to. But your engine, man, your engine's LS ITB. That's wicked. What made you choose the ITB? Except, you know, obviously you did say race car feels, but like, why all that problem just for ITBs?
Yeah,
and what's beneath that as well, man?
It's interesting actually, because individual throttle body setup was a cathedral port, which means that I was sacrificing 20% of my power purely because square or rectangle port flows so much better. But purely based off the sound and the aesthetics of individual throttle bodies. When you're driving, you can hear it open up, and you know, I'll give you guys a demonstration of it today. You guys, you know, it's just one of those things that once you're in it, it's so iconic and you just can't let it go. And we worked a lot to get this thing working. So it's, you know, custom injector hats, custom injectors, custom rails, custom everything just to make it fit. And it does fit, and it looks like it's designed to fit. So, you know, there was a lot of research and development that went into making it all work. But we got there.
Nah, man, I love it. I love it. And on top of a built LS, this thing sounds wicked. And I cannot wait to be taken for a spin in this because it is sick. But moving on to the rest of your drive line, you said you've got a T56, so we don't need to know more about that. GDR rear cradle, but the size of those brakes up front, man, they're bigger than my head, and that is huge. What are they, man?
They're actually a K-Sport 6-pot race brake that we've had powder coated in red, and then I've put my own little design on it just to match the rest of the car and the flow of the car. We're running 18 by 10.5 front SSR wheels wrapped in Federal RSRRs, and then on the rear we've got 18 by 13 -30 big boy wheels with 3 1.5s in the rear, Michelin Pilot Sports to keep me to the ground.
Now, man, I love it, and everyone knows that I love a big wheel. All my Mazdas have had big wheels, and for a Mazda, everyone just is mucho confused, but this thing is unreal. I'd be surprised if anyone knew what this is if they didn't see the rear end. How often do you get people confused and they ask them what it is?
That is legitimately the 99% of the questions that I've gotten since this car was on the road. The 99% of the time, it is, what is it? And I'm just like, oh, it's a Nissan 180 SX, and like, well, what is that? And I'm like, look, it's an old Datsun car, a little bit newer than that. And I don't know, I'll put a different front end on it just so I could annoy the, you know, the people that actually like 180s.
Nah, wait, hey, I don't mind a clean 180, so I'm offended. I'm gonna go to my safe space now. But you obviously, you've got the wide body, man. It's looking unreal. The color, I haven't seen a car this color. So what made you choose this beautiful deep red burgundy? And also, don't forget to let out what your fastening bolts are, because that is a real elegant touch.
Yeah, so I actually, up in Mackay at the moment, I drove this car, trailered it down 12 hours to this Gold Coast for Loco Customs to do most of my bodywork for me. So these guys painted it in a custom candy red. It's a mixture between candy apple and the cherry plum. So you get a little bit more of a deep feel when it's in the shade, but when it hits the sunlight, it just pops. The metallic through it is just amazing. I'm so happy with it. I actually let them have full creative control over the color. I had no say. I just said, I want a candy red car, and this is what came back, and I'm more than happy with it. They've done an amazing job, and we've actually elected to have full work wheel bolts through the whole kit. There's over 200 titanium wheel bolts holding this body kit together. I know it looks like a lot, but it works.
No, man, I love it. It's those little touches that really set apart like any other car, and that is a huge investment. Now, probably the last thing that we haven't touched on yet is your suspension. So it does the up and down things that all like nice cool cars do. Everyone knows that I love a car that goes up and down. What have you got suspension wise to keep this thing planted?
Yeah, so originally we were elected to get MCA Red Series coilovers just because they've got a great reputation. The guys, they know what they're doing. Josh Coote's a legend when it comes to suspension. And this was ideally going to be a drift / time attack car originally. And I wasn't even going to register it originally. So when I realized how low my car is actually going to sit with the body kit on it, I'm like, I'm going to need something to get me up and down. So I contacted the guys at Stance Parts, and they've installed an Aircup suspension on top of my Red Series coilovers. So you got about 60 mil of travel, but it allows you to not tear a bag going around a corner, so it stays stiff, rigid, and it's tight, and it still feels smooth as hell driving. So I'm in love with it myself.
Easy, man. Well, look, that's pretty much this whole car covered. We've been talking for 35 minutes, it would seem, but the build list on this is extensive, and I cannot voice how appreciative I am of bringing this down, and also reaching out and having our little chats and chin wags in Messenger. I am absolutely in love with this villain, and it's crazy. I can't wait to go for a drive, man. So honestly, really, thank you so much for coming down today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and appreciate it.
All right, let's go. And yes, by the roof we are in Villain. Rhys is going to take us for a little bit of a spin on this closed track today, and this thing is aggressive. Also, I just fit, you can't see my head's hitting the roof. Tight squeeze this big bad girl. Let's go. All right, let's go. Brother, limiter was found. You said you wanted to build a race car, man. I have not been in a street car that feels this much like a race car ever. This thing is wicked. It's loud, it's vibrating, it is aggressive. That torque is unreal. Oh, this closed track doesn't know what's hit it. Right? Oh, we're all right, mate. We're all right. Oh, man! Smiles per gallon, I'm telling you. This thing is wicked. Oh, shit. You guys can't tell right now, but I'm hard as a rock, and my underwear is brown. Oh, Rhys, mate, thank you so much. This thing is wicked. I love it.
Glad you like it, bro. Thank you.
All right, let's go next one. And that is the end of episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Once again, I don't know what cars went into this episode. I don't know what's left to go, but I hope you guys are enjoying this. Proximity Motorsport of Mackay have been super great in having me here. They bought me a halal snack pack, which everyone knows is an absolute delight. Way to my heart is through food, and I could stay here all day. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember, stay tuned. If you guys have a car, remember, Townsville, Mackay, Cairns, Inland, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Toowoomba, all those kind of regions, anywhere in between. I do travel a fair bit nowadays, so you just hit me up, slide in our DMs, get me down there. If you feed me, I'll come. That's pretty much it. Just get cars, food, and drives on private tracks. I'm all for it. So stay tuned. We've got 2 more episodes of Proximity Motorsport Mackay to come. Thanks, guys. See you next week.